What's up, guys? So I get a lot of questions on what options I have on the 911. So today I'm going to give you a little tour, walk you through all the different options and some of the modifications I've done to the car. So we'll start on the outside. The car is just plain white, nothing special about it. Porsche does make a metallic white that you see on a lot of the turbo models, but this color is a lot brighter than that one. That one's more of an eggshell. You can see just how white this car is when you compare it to other whites. Take a look at it up beside the Mercedes C300. So most people don't notice, but the front and rear valences are both painted white to match the car, in contrast to the black plastic that comes standard. I think the black is a little more sporty, but the white gives the car kind of a classy look in my opinion. Continuing with that classy theme, the Carrera classic wheels with the painted crest on the center cap contribute nicely to the overall sophisticated look of the car. We also have 5mm spacers all the way around, but I really don't think they make that much of a difference, to be honest. Lastly, on the exterior, I swapped out the orange turn signals and the red lights for clear everything. I think it just gives the car an overall cleaner look. If you compare my car to my second favorite build, which is a agate gray car with Carrera S wheels, you can really see how much sportier that car looks and compared to mine, which has more of a classier Grand Tourer look. One interesting thing to note about the taillights, these are actually Euro spec lights, which mean that instead of the red turn signals, it has amber turn signals. Now, they were actually sent to me by mistake by the dealership I ordered them from, but once I got them, I liked the look of the amber, so I kept the lights. I had to modify the sockets a little bit to get it to work just right, but it was pretty easy to do, and I've not had any problems out of it. I know it's a small detail, but to me it kind of sets the car apart just a little bit from everybody else, which I kind of like. Moving on to the interior. I've got the standard black interior with brushed aluminum trim and the 7-speed manual transmission. The first thing you notice when you get in the car are the red seat belts. I was kind of skeptical about them at first, but they've really grown on me. They kind of give the car a little bit of a personality. Now, one of my favorite options are the white gauges. They're kind of an expensive option from Porsche, but I think they're a huge improvement over the stock black ones. So moving right along, this car has the premium package, which has auto-dimming mirrors, dynamic headlights, and the heated 14-way power adjustable seats with memory. Now, these seats are the most comfortable seats I've ever had in a car. I love these things. I can drive for hours and I feel completely fine. I even like them a little bit better than the seats in the Mercedes. But don't tell my fiance that, because she thinks the Mercedes is the most comfortable car on the road and the 911 rides like a tractor, which it kind of does. I'm sure a lot of you have noticed the little clock up on the dash, which means that the car has Sports Chrono. All 911s have a sports button, but the Sports Chrono package adds a Sports Plus button. This basically turns up everything that the sports button does a little bit and adds a bunch of other bells and whistles. I really hardly ever drive this car if it's not in Sport Plus mode. And the auto rev matching is probably one of my favorite features on the car. Plus the way it sounds when you have the sports exhaust on. There's not many cars that sound better than that. It is that good, and I never get tired of it. You're probably wondering what kind of difference the sport exhaust button makes, so I've included a little clip just so you can hear what it's like. Pretty easy to hear that there's a lot extra oomph with the sport mode on, plus a lot of little pops and crackles. Now, when we were looking at the exterior, how many of you guys noticed that we had 4 exhaust tips that meant that I had sports exhaust on this car? I didn't mention it because I just wanted to see if you were paying attention. Now, rounding out the performance options is the PASM Sports suspension. I'll be honest with you, I hardly ever use it. Most of the time in the car, I'm commuting and daily driving, so I just leave it in normal mode for the most part. The last option we need to talk about is the Burmester Sound system. I'll tell you right away that this sound system is not worth $5,000. It sounds good, but it doesn't sound great. The best part about it is the bass is loud, it's clear, but everything else is just kind of plus the amount of fine tuning is just not there. You'd think in a $5,000 system you'd have the option to adjust the EQ a little better. Not in here. You got your treble, bass, fade, and balance. And then you got a couple little special options that aren't adjustable at all. We have a Burmester system in the Mercedes, and for half the price, it puts this system to shame. The Mercedes doesn't have the bass, but everything else is so much clearer. Now, I know what you're saying. The 911 is a sports car. It's not supposed to have a good stereo, and the Mercedes is a luxury car that's supposed to sound great. Give me a break. This car, it's not a track car. You know, the newer 911s are closer to a Grand Tourer than an all-out raw sports car. They should have done a little better. I'm just saying, for $5,000, I would expect it a little bit more out of this. But on the used market, I didn't even pay a fraction of that. So I guess I really shouldn't be complaining, should I? Well, I guess that covers just about everything. If you guys have any questions about the car, leave a comment below. If you liked the video, give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Until next time, thanks guys.